Hey everybody, this is Tom Caper of Incidental Dog and the Buried Cinema podcast at buriedcinema.com. The other podcasters and I, Alvin, Steve, and Nate, we all compiled our top 10 films of 2010 lists, four separate lists. I took those four separate lists and I made one composite list. So what I hold here is actually turned out to be more of a top 11. You'll see why in a second. But I actually did this using the using the Internet Movie Database formula for their top 250. So I got this stuff here, which now every math major on YouTube can look at that and see what an idiot I am. But it seems to make sense to me. So I crunched these numbers, and this is the official Incidental Dog top 11 films of 2010. Number 11 ended up being Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, which was on Alvin, Steve, and Nate's top 10 lists, but not mine. This actually doesn't even make my top 20. But to be fair, I included it on the list because three of us picked it. So number 11 is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Looking forward to Part 2. Number 10 is The Fighter. Mark Wahlberg and Christian Bale, The Fighter. Three of us saw this. Two of us put it on our lists, but we put it up pretty high. And I think Nate was actually his number 11 because Nate gave me his rankings for like every film of the year, which is great. Good job, Nate. So Fighter is actually our number 10, and the way this worked out, there's like a point ranking for each one. Harry Potter got 13 points. The Fighter got 16 points. So number 9 on our top 10 film, top 11 films of the year is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. All four of us put this on our top 10 list, but I think we all put it in the bottom half, so it got a lower score of 29. But we all really enjoyed that movie. Number 8 is actually How to Train Your Dragon, which all four of us put on our lists. And I think all four of us would say that we are surprised that this is on our list, considering our feelings before we actually saw the movie earlier in the year. I don't think any of us expected going into it that it would end up on our top 10 at the end of the year. But it did with a score of 34. Number 7 on our top 11 is The King's Speech with a score of 35. I think three of us had this on our list. Steve didn't for some reason. I don't know why. Number 6 with a score of 37 is actually Black Swan. This was Nate's number 1 of the year, but the other two of us that saw it ranked it a little bit lower. Steve and I still both loved it. So that's number 6. Number 5 is True Grit with a score of 40, which all four of us saw and liked, but I did not put it on my top 10. It just didn't quite make it on my top 10. Still think it's a great movie, so I'm glad it's there. I'm okay with it being at number 5. That's fine. This is actually Steve's number 1 of the year, so way to go, Steve. Number 4 is 127 Hours with a score of 41. Actually, True Grit and 127 Hours were tied, so I went and checked just to see. Alvin didn't see this one, but Steve, Nate, and I saw it, and Nate and I both ranked this movie higher than True Grit, so I gave 127 Hours that 1 point edge. But number 3 is actually Inception with a score of 55 points. It was on all four of our lists, and it actually ended up with a higher ranking on the composite list than I thought it would when I started this. but that's cool. It's a great movie. Number 2 is The Social Network with a score of 73. All four of us had this on our list, quite high on our list. And the number 1 film of the year, according to Incidental Dog, is Toy Story 3. Got a score of 75 in this little ranking formula, and this was actually my number 1 of the year. Albin's, did I mention what Albin's number 1 of the year was? What was it? I think it was The Social Network. Pretty sure it was The Social Network. Yes, it was The Social Network. Okay, sorry about that, Albin. But that is our top 11. There are 3 movies that only one of the 4 of us each put on our lists, and I had Exit Through the Gift Shop on my top 10, which I thought was an amazing movie. Albin's number 10 on his top 10 list was City Island, which we all saw together and we all really liked, and is actually, this was like a top 15 would be on my list too. And Steve had as his number 10 on his list The Town, which again we all saw, and I think we all thought was pretty good. Apparently Steve liked it more than the rest of us. But that's the top 10 list from Incidental Dog. Just a personal note, want to give a shout out to Get Low and Shutter Island and Let Me In and The Kids Are Alright, which I was wrestling with kind of at the tail end of my top 10. So that's our top 10 list of the year. Check out our podcast, weekly podcast every Tuesday at buriedcinema.com, and you can also check us out on Facebook. Incidental Dog presents Buried Cinema. We're on Twitter. We're here on YouTube, and also this will be posted on our blog, The Rant Pad, so you can check that out. There's a link from incidentaldog.com and buriedcinema.com, I believe. But you can check out the Rant Pad, and we post articles regularly. We're working on it. So that is going to be our last feature, I believe, on the year 2010. So we're moving fully ahead into 2011 at this point, and that's it. Thanks for watching. Click.